Now here is more the same figure which has been elaborated, which I was talking to you about the inquiries and how that has been processed further. The manufacturing source code 3 that has been generates the work order for manufacturing. Now the concept of work order that we will discuss later, latest slide. Now let us discuss a few modules of ERP. The first module I would like to discuss is the purchase module. The very important module is the purchase module, where it consists of purchase order, purchase voucher, vendor payment, vendor ledger, automatic updating stock, and so many things. We have listed only few things where this module consists of. Now purchase order will look something like this. It's a snapshot of purchase order where all this information regarding the purchase, what is to be purchased, has been shown over here. Of course, this is the output of the ERP, which is actually sent to the client so that he knows that how much, what are items, what is the code, what is the quantity, and what is the rate. All these things, calculations have been made, and it is shown on this purchase order. This actually goes to the vendor or supplier, and as per this, the various commercial things he can manufacture, like sales tax, etc., all those are included. Now, the normal purchase order, the entry, input form, will look like this. This again a snapshot where we actually snapshot of this computer which we have developed for ERP. Where purchase order number is given, date, etc. is given, what are the numbers, etc., freight, etc., all the terms, etc. are given, and the item name is also given. And the commercial terms are listed over here. There are some columns here where we can get the print also, we can get the Excel output also. A lot of things can be done using this input. Now this is again a snapshot for purchase voucher entry. Voucher modules which we are discussing is basically the input. This is the input form where you are we can call this a transaction also, where this purchase voucher these are the entries for the various vouchers. They have to be entered in this particular form. Now goods receipt note. This is a GRN. We call it a goods receipt note. Of course, this is a part of your input form of ERP. Goods receipt, basically when you order the material comes in at goods inward center, and that is entered in this fashion or this input form. A particular fashion or particular columns, every entry has to be done. Now the purchase order number, product description, product subcategory, whether that material is accepted or not. Once the goods in, immediately the purchase knows that goods has come to the goods inward department. Then quality control knows that this goods has come. Account knows that this goods has come. Immediately quality control starts checking the goods. They clear the goods, pass the goods, or they fail. Some goods are rejected. The rejected goes back to the supplier, and immediately purchase knows that what are the causes of the defects, etc. So this is basically a very important document where you can relate with all the departments like purchase. They know about what is the rejection, why it is rejected. Quality control department, what is the action to be done. Production department, how many goods have been cleared, and so that they can use it for the production purpose. And finance, last, they should know that what is the payment we have to do for the party. That is generally the concept of this goods receipt note. Now, after completing this purchase module, of course there are so many things are there, but we can look into the production module in short. Of course, this is a very important module we call as production module or say manufacturing. Now the concept of manufacturing here, we have the master, again always the data we collect, we have the master data. That master data first is the operator data, or we talk about the people. The master data or operator data is operator, generally it consists of operator code and operator name and what is the skill sets of that operator, whether it's a milling operator, miller, or whether it's a helper, or whether it's a welder. All those information will be in this operator master. Operator master will be having the unique code where this code will be used for some other context also. For example, let us see the machine master now. Now, what is machine master? Machine master is basically the machine code and the machine name, machine type. Basically, say for example, the milling machine. The milling machine, there are 10 milling machines. So, milling machine code is there, P1, milling machine M1, M2, 3, also P1, P2, whatever that. And that milling machine, particular location, the cost of that material, cost of that machine is also mentioned. Or the per hour cost of that particular machine. The most important part is the per hour cost of the machine. So that I can find out how much time is spent on that particular machine by a particular operator. Here also, you have the unique labor cost also. For example, milling machine or miller. What is the unit rate of that miller? That has been mentioned over here. So that if a milling operator is working on a milling machine for 1 hour, what is the cost spent for that by the company, or what is the cost incurred? That has been recorded by the different reports. Now here, as I said, machine master, operator master, there is one more master that is called process, the process masters. Now what are the process masters? Here all the processes are recorded. Now what are the processes? There are various processes in industry. You are aware of the milling operation or say painting operation, plating operation. These are basically processes involved in the manufacturing. Now each process, suppose I want to do some plating operation, nickel plating. That nickel plating, I have to do so plating operations. What are the costs involved in that? Suppose I spent 1 hour for that particular bath. How much that will cost? That is all process. So nickel cadmium plating cost 1,000 rupees per hour. So if I spend one hour, it will cost me 1,000 rupees. That way the cost is calculated. But generally, all these are related activities, and this has been taken care. This is a logic where we operate production. But this logic is converted to the software, that is ERP. Okay. The production planning. Now we talk about the production planning. What is the production planning? Generally, production planning consists of the processes. So generally, we have provided in ERP, we have provided input form where all this work order, machine number, process, etc. is given. Now, when I talk about the production planning, it involves 3 things. The first thing, that you should have the drawing of that particular part to image. Second, you must have the bill of material of that particular part, so that what are the assemblies involved in that, you should know those. And third thing, you should have the process layout. You should have the process layout. Now, process layout is that first process is say cutting, drilling, all this operation, grinding. That sequence is mentioned in the process layout. So basically, the production planning consists of 3 things, out of which the processing part has been shown over here. Like say, the work order number, the very important part, when I want to manufacture a certain thing in a machine shop or in the assembly shop, the production control department issues the work order. The most important document is the work order. The work order number is there. Now what is work order? Work order is a basically document which shows that what is the part number, what is the process to be followed, and what is the batch quantity. How much to be produced on which machine and which cost center. Suppose I want to use the milling machine. So I have to say in the process level that okay, milling machine, use milling machine so and so. Otherwise, I have to go for the processing, tempering process, or say zinc cooling process. All that is to be mentioned in the process layout, and that is to be entered here. Likewise, the machine type is shown over here, work order is shown over here, date, when the work order is loaded, then the quantity, this is a batch quantity, and the shift, the details will be there. Shift, which shift is to be used, general shift or say first shift, second shift, all those things have been shown here. The work order quantity is shown over here. This is a planning, but it's a work order quantity. Now, this is a very important document where when you enter this document, you can list out all the things, you can manipulate the things with you. Now, this is the production entry. Again, this is again a very important document, basic document for the production entry. We call it production entry, where the item category, work order date, all the things will be given, time calculation, etc. Processes, it gives a window where it gives all the details about the processes. This is the window where it gives you all the product description, model, quantity produced, summarized. You can have this report in Excel fashion also. You can print the report also. All these things will be there. From date to date, the production entry, and from this you can generate the various reports. This is basically a stage-wise production. Generally, we call it stage-wise production. Different stages. This transaction will help to transfer the material from one process to another. Likewise, stage-wise. Suppose I want to outsource the item. Then the stage-wise. Suppose I am giving this to the subcontractor, and the subcontractor he is doing the framework for me, and then next subcontractor is doing the painting of that. Third will be doing some plating. So this generally moves from one subcontractor to second subcontractor. Stage-wise production can be seen from here. So this basically the input form, which is generally used for the stage-wise, where it gives you the stages, Now this is one more example. That particular process, it's a punching process. Now details about the punching process has been listed in this. So what are the machines used in punching? What are the types? What are the item description? All those things have been listed in this input form. Now we were talking about the work order. As I said, work order is very important document which shows you that what work is to be done and what work center is to be done. Now let us see what we call as work center, the concept of work center in manufacturing. Now every worker who is working on a machine has been given a job card. Now what is job card? Generally job card is a document where he kept all the records that his identification number, the machine on which he is working, the work order loaded, the work order date on which the work order is loaded, work order identification number, then the category, the first number, then we have work order, batch quantity. So these are basically things which are involved in this work order information. So generally work order input will have all this information, and this information you can use for the ERP as a basis. Now let us see, when we talk about these modules, let us see about the advantages, why we are generally using the ERP. The design engineers, how to make the best of the product. Generally, the minimum waste and how can we make the best of the product. Then order tracking from acceptance through fulfillment. This is very important, where the manager knows about how to track the orders. Now how to track the orders means where the orders, if you are ordering something, what is the status of that order. Likewise, some material is lying in the goods invoice, some material is lying in the stores, some material is yet to come, some material is ordered. How to track those things has been, we can very well track this with the ERP. Now, the revenue cycle from the invoice through the cash receipt. Generally, the revenue cycle from the invoice through the cash receipt, which we have discussed about this, that everything can be automated with this ERP. How? Let us go back to some of the previous slides. I can go into little detail about it. Let us again discuss the advantages of the ERP and the logic behind this ERP. The first, sales inquiry from the PC. Customers gives the sales inquiry that he wanted 1,000 computers, which inquiry is given to the manufacturing. They have the ERP software. So generally ERP software catches the inquiry and it sends the quotation to the customer. Now this quotation will be sent automatically by the ERP based on the unit rates given in the bill of material. Bill of material is a very important document which you have seen, where the rates are there, and depending upon that rates, the quotation will be sent for the customer. Now the customer will validate that customer and validate that quotation, and then the sales order along with the schedule, that is when that computer, 1,000 computers will be supplied, that is given to the manufacturing. Now manufacturing receives the order and schedule also. So ERP, what ERP does, it has got all the codes for making 1,000 computers, it will immediately split everything into the different codes. Like we have discussed, code 1 is for import. Now code 1 is import, so ERP will order all the imported items. Generally, they don't order all. As I said, they order only those are required. That is the importance of ERP. Now, how ERP knows that only required to be ordered? It will first check the stock, what is available in the stores. If 500 computers are available, then 500 imported components you will not order. It will subtract that and remaining they will order. For example, there are some components which are already ordered by purchase and their purchase order is pending with the supplier. In that case, it will subtract that amount also. So that number is subtracted and remaining is to be imported. That is what is decided by the ERP. It's just similar that we do manually, but the program is such that it does through the machine. Think of a situation where you are getting so many orders from various places. We are developing ERP for, say, pickle manufacturing. We are given all pieces to our various salesmen. What they do, they just get the order and that order they enter it on computer online. So generally that order will be entered online and the stock automatically at Pune office server is get rectified. They know that what is going on and what are things required to manufacture next day. That is the importance of ERP. That is the advantage of ERP. The second thing, once they get the order, it splits, like I said, import. Purchase orders can be floated. Of course, purchase order will be minus the stocks available and orders which are already there. Then, what is to be manufactured in-house, that is also to be made available with the ERP. Or the production manager knows what is to be produced in next 8 days. Situation is very variant. They are receiving the orders day and day, but then automatically everything gets automated and changed. It's flexible. So generally from here onwards, also we take over stocks. ERP makes the stocks. It records the quality control or say all the reports, etc. It makes the reports. All those things will be taken care by the ERP. So generally we are talking about the ERP advantages. So let us see some more advantages now, where accounting for all the issues, this tracking the revenues, cost, profit, granular level. Change a product is made in the engineering details and that is how it is to be made. All these things can be possible with the ERP. Of course, when we discuss the advantages, there are certain disadvantages also. Like many problems in organization have with ERP systems are due to inadequate investment in ongoing training. People, they don't know how to use this software. They have this elephant, but they don't know how to ride on that. Generally, that is the general case with ERP. People, we are taught to very illiterate people also, but with the icon, say this, you have to click on this icon, get the material, just simple. That is, of course, training we have to give. If you give the training, it can be ERP for any toy making or say even vada pav wala. Also you can have it. All those ERPs are possible. Anywhere you can think of any application where ERP we can make the ERP design. As well as lack of corporate policy. See, suppose for example top people, they are not interested in this ERPs. They just for the case they invested, but they are not interested. In that case, the lack of interest will be there, and there is a failure. That is what is called a disadvantage of the ERP. The limitation of ERP also, the success depends on the skill and experience of workforce, including training about how to make systems work correctly. Many companies cut costs by cutting training budgets. This is the most difficult, this is the most advantages. So limitations start from here. So don't have to cut on the training. People should know how to use the ERP, how to make the ERP available. So that is generally the success of MRP. Now let us see MRP. This is a very funny slide where we say that MRP is not one man's job. It's basically a teamwork. It's a teamwork. Likewise, it is shown here. All three are there going, and then as per the requirement, they are supporting by the others. Generally, this is the slide which say that okay, it's a teamwork. And in the last, we say Peter Drucker's voice. Information technology forces you to organize your business process more logically. A very important thing he has said. What is information technology? What is the contribution of information technology? Or ERP, for example. Information technology forces you to organize your business more logically. That you have to use the logic, and that logic is to be adopted. Same thing machine will do for you. That is what is logically. The computer can handle anything, only things to which answer is yes or no. It cannot handle maybe. It is not the computation that is important. It is the discipline that brings to your business that is important. It is the discipline that is important, and that is what is required. ERP brings you the discipline. Thank you.